Hello. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I did. I spent it with my family, and I got what I wanted for Christmas. And most of all, I got a Zondervan NIV Study Bible, which I wanted, and so I know you have to check it out of the library. Um, I thought a good thing I could do is I did this last year, a year review. I thought because this is end of a decade, but this is also the end of a year as well as a decade. I thought I would kind of reflect back on what the 2000s meant to me and my relationship with politics, with God, with life. And so I thought I would do it. Let me make several videos over the week about that and share with you a little bit about my what happened to me from 1999, December 31st, 1999 to now. So I just want to share the decade as it meant to me. I mean, I might skip through big chunks of it. This is really going to be a fast through the last 10 years. But it's amazing how things can change in 10 years. In 1999, going into 2000, I was a Republican. I was a church-going Catholic. I was living at my parents' house. I was at METC, still trying to find the program for me. And I look at myself 10 years later, how I got here. And it started in early 2000. One thing I didn't know, my social anxiety disorder has been very difficult throughout my life. And one thing that helped change that was an unfortunate thing that happened, although death is a fact of life. I had two grandparents die within a month of each other. My grandpa Louis Siskowski on my mom's side died April 3rd. My grandpa Jerome Blask on my dad's side died at the end of the month. And my grandpa was a bartender. Louis was a bartender, and he tended bar in a tavern outside of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Louis' trading post in Monterey, and was a real character. And at his memorial service, people came up to my mom and said, "You have to keep it open. It's such a big part of the community." And it needed some work, and needed a new roof. And some of the neighbors and some of the regulars helped fix up the roof, helped do the renovations that we needed. And my mom opened it up on the weekends, and then I started coming out. And I was going through a hard time right now. My anxiety was getting bad. I quit my job as an assembly page at the state capitol because of the anxiety. And but then I started going out to the bar, and my mom would want me to do a little even tending bar. And so mom could do odd stuff in the back, and I could tend bar, and I would do it for like maybe an hour, and then I would run in back and watch The Fugitive with Tim Daly, just showing how long ago that was. That show lasted like one season. Also during Vince McMahon's Extreme Football League. But then I started doing it more and more, and I started going out and talking to people, and just building up rapport. And by the time we had to lease out the tavern, we could no longer run it. I mean, I was doing 6 hours at a 6 hours at a stretch, and I wouldn't do it now because I believe alcohol is poison. I believe that, I mean, selling alcohol and seeing the anger it makes, seeing the promiscuity that comes out of it, I couldn't do it, but it really helped me break out of my shell. 2000 was also a very interesting year politically for me. As I said, I was a Republican. I voted for Bob Dole in my first presidential election, and I voted for Republicans in Congress. The only one I didn't before 2000 was I voted for Feingold because Newman, who was running against him, I thought was too reactionary, too far right. And I wanted McCain. I actually donated money to John McCain he was the first presidential candidate I ever donated money for. But the problem was, by the time of the primary, which I wouldn't have been there to vote anyway because I was going to London and Paris with my MATC drama club, it was over. McCain lost the South Carolina primary that basically killed his candidacy, and basically by some really, really shabby, dirty tricks done by Bush surrogates. But yet, I was very burned out of the Clinton administration. I believe Clinton was corrupt, and Al Gore was his running mate. And I wanted change. I wanted dignity. I wanted a restoration of morals in the White House, where it wasn't about the buck. It wasn't about campaign donations from Indonesians, possibly giving technological stuff to the Chinese. The Monica Lewinsky thing, I think, was just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, the conservatives shot themselves in the foot by going after that and not going after illegal campaign donations and things like that. So I voted for Bush, even though there was something about me that said he doesn't seem to be, the brightest, but he also seems to be a little arrogant. He also seems to be kind of, there's a little bit of smarminess about him. And, but still, I thought that he was the better of both evils. And I thought the Republican Party was the party of personal responsibility, that it was the party of responsible government. I believed that it was I believe that the late 90s was such a big boom because of Clinton, but also because of Newt Gingrich and the Republican Congress. And the problem is, I was proven wrong. I was proven wrong, and that is a vote that I regret. I don't know if, and I'm going to go in when I discuss 2008, I don't know if Obama's, the vote for, I guess, for Obama is going to be the same way. God in 2000, I went to church, but I didn't really feel it. I didn't really start getting more involved in my faith until like the next year. But I went to church, and seeing Sacré-Cœur in Paris was beautiful. In Montmartre. Notre Dame did nothing for me. Notre Dame was just like a big Gothic cathedral, but it just Sacré-Cœur. And I mean the caverns underneath it, and just the relics, and I felt the history. I felt the holiness. I felt God in that place. I felt, and especially I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that they hid Jews in that church. And I like that place. I like that place. And also 2000 was the year that I decided I was going to go into travel. And I will tell you how that went out in the next year in 2001. God bless.